Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wa salatu wa salam ala rasulil karim wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ala kulli man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yaumiddin amma ba'du a'udzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha waddu ma baqiya min riba in kuntum mu'minin. Dear guests, welcome to this presentation, joint session of Chinese and English group on the topic of Islamic finance. And the lecture will be given by Brother Muhammad Johan Lee, whom we will present. And I would like to invite our Chief Imam and Chairman of the Dawah Committee of Kohl Masjid to come forward and welcome the speaker.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Brother Ali. It is a great occasion for us that we are listening a lecture on the topic of Islamic finance. Indeed, from the mosque, you can hear the topic related to the spirituality, morality, and the seerah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But Islam, when we say it is a complete code of life, it is a religion that is not only inside the worship place, but it has a great impact from the centuries in all field of life. So finance, indeed, it is a great field of life. So Islam has given enlightenment, inspection, guideline in the finance in relation of business, trade, and etc. So I am grateful for the use of you for organizing this lecture, this program, and I welcome Dr. Johan Lee for enlightening us on the topic. And indeed, it will be a good and useful for our students, for our brothers and sisters who are joining the course. And I welcome Doctor, and who has spent his time in research of Islamic finance and the field of finance. Thank you very much for coming and for giving us the time. And you are welcome here in Hong Kong, in our mosque. On behalf of all the members of Dawah committees of Kohl Mosque, I welcome you here in the mosque. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Mufti Arshad. Before we proceed to the presentation of the speaker, I would like to announce the format, how we're going to proceed. The speaker will give his lecture. After, in English, he will give the speech in English, and himself will translate it into Mandarin, Chinese language. And afterward, we will proceed to question and answer session, where we will have the opportunity to ask many questions in relation to this topic of Islamic finance. So it's open to everyone, Muslims as well as non-Muslims, ladies as well as gents. So I'm going to proceed to present Dr. Muhammad Johan Lee. Brother Johan Lee is the managing partner of J. Lee and Associates, a medium-sized legal firm in Malaysia. He graduated with LLB honor degree from International Islamic University in Malaysia, ranking from the top of the year. He also holds a master's degree in comparative law, a postgraduate diploma in Sharia and legal practice, both of which are from International Islamic University in Malaysia. He also holds an MA in economics in competition law from King's College, London. He is currently a qualified member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, UK, as well as the registered mediator of the Malaysian Bar. He is an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya. Proficient in English language, in Malay, Mandarin. He is also the first Chinese origin Sharia practitioner ever admitted by the Sharia Islamic law court. Dr. Lee has a very long CV that I'm not going to give details of right here. I will give him the opportunity to make his presentations, and for those who want to have one-to-one discussion after the presentation, they may well stay behind, and they will be giving chance to talk to Dr. Joan Lee directly. So, Dr. Joan Lee, please welcome to deliver your talk. Assalamu alaikum.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the talk. I would like to thank the Masjid Committee for inviting me over for the talk today. Well, it's just a little time that we have here to give me the opportunity to share with you the little knowledge that I have about Islamic banking, electronic finance, and takaful. Now, it is actually my idea to insert a little bit of the time, on takaful to the talk itself. The reason being, I believe that if you want to know about the beauty of Islam and how Islamic economies work, you should know the basic about Islamic banking and how we do it in takaful as well. What is takaful, you might be asking, is in a very simple term, Islamic insurance. Yeah? But you will realize later on that the idea of it is far nobler, far better than insurance itself. Okay. Now the other thing is that you have to excuse me that I don't really. Firstly, I'm not a singer, so I'm not that familiar of holding mic like this. Okay. Usually I will just walk around and talk. So you're gonna bear with me sometime if the voice is like this. Yeah. Okay. I try my best to stick onto it, but sometimes I like to move along as well. Okay. The other thing is that to make it easier for everyone, I'll try my best to do after I discuss something in English, if there's some crucial point, I will immediately go to the Mandarin Putonghua version. That will be easier for everybody to understand that. But you have to excuse me that 随时都是会用普通话跟你解释，所以这一点可能要小心一点，不然直接撞过去了。Now, coming back to my topic, the main thing we have to start off is to know about the sources of Sharia when it comes to the Islamic finance. Just like the normal things that you know about Islam, the sources of Sharia are basically starting from the primary sources, where we have the Quran and the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet, and also, especially when you come to Islamic finance, one of the main things that you need to know is that most of the time, a lot of the time, we need the exercise of the ijtihad by the ulama. What is an ijtihad? Exercising of the thinking. The thinking by the ulama to apply the original ruling in the Quran and Sunnah into the new context. This is the most challenging part, because not everyone of us can do that. Only the real learned can do that. So that is the ijtihad. And from the ijtihad, therefore, you have ijma, unanimous decision of the ulama, where all the ulama of those days agree upon to say we should do it this way, we can do it this way. That is the ijma. And then you have qiyas, all these are the subsequent things that basically coming from the ijtihad exercised by the ulama itself. So this is the things that I need you to be aware of before we move on further to Islamic banking, Islamic finance. Now, the framework of Islamic finance, I know many of you might be asking, what is Islamic finance and why so special about Islamic finance? We also, for the past 100 years, we have been so much used to the conventional banking system that the British has brought to us. The the system that has been established by the West, so to say. Yeah? Just for your info, that system actually started off by the Jewish. They started off with the monetary trading system. Yeah? So what made Islamic finance different from the normal banking that you have every single day is because firstly, we strict, or rather we really must follow the things that laid down by the Quran, by the holy book itself and the saying of the Prophet. So the thing about Islamic finance, you can look at it and say it is the normal banking system, but with the Islamic element in it. It is a Sharia compliance finance system. 就是说，那所谓的比较金融，就是它跟其他的金融或者是银行不一样的，就是说，因为它是用了这个我们清真教是比较的教义来放进去那个我们银行普通的市场的这个交易啊贸易的时候，就是用这个用比较法，也就是用比较的真理去把它给做出来的，就这么简单做法。那怎么做呢？等下就跟你解释了。Now, the other thing that you need to know of is that what makes Islamic finance different or slightly different from other part of the normal ibadah. Yeah? When you when you talk about Sharia, when you talk about Islam, you will have ibadah, you will have the Islamic criminal law. Yeah? All these things were usually, or Islamic family law, usually the idea is that you must follow whatever that is said in the Quran, whatever that is practiced by the Prophet. Those are the gist when you talk about ibadah, when you talk about Islamic family law, when you talk about Islamic criminal law. Yeah? But when you come to Islamic finance, the situation is slightly different. Okay? In the case of muamalah, Islamic finance, the practice is that we have to ask yourself, is there any book or any way in the Quran or the Sunnah or any of the practices of the Sahaba that suggests that we cannot do this? If there is nothing to say you cannot do that, then you are free to do it. Isn't this very different? Okay? When you talk about ibadah, people will tell you, you must pray 5 times a day because this was practiced by the Prophet. So if people ask you, why I must pray 5 times a day, it's because it has been said by the Quran and because the Prophet has said you have to pray this way. So you have the authority. But when it comes to Islamic finance, the question should be, is there any way in the Quran or the Sunnah or any of the practices of the Sahaba that say no to this? If the answer is no, we cannot find any authority to say no, then you are free to practice. This is Islamic finance. This is the unique thing about Islamic finance. 就是说，除非你能够在这个果然经或者是我们的先知的说法里面找出这个所谓的什么地方说我们不可以这样做的话呢？那比较金融就不能够做，不然的话呢，我们就可以就是很自然的去用任何一个在我们现代的这个金融法里面能够做得出来的，我们就可以做，那就没问题。那只是说问题是说你要做这个过程，把它从一个普通的银行交易的方法，把它转过来做比较，只是清真教金融的话呢，那个过程就比较你要去研究说，在我们比较法里面比较教育里面什么可以做，什么不可以做，就是这一点就比较难。So to move on further, we also have this Sharia thing. I'm not going to go through this because this is just for me to read itself afterward. Now, what amounting to Sharia compliance? 那当你说这个比较金融是根据比较教育来做的话，那下一个问题是说，什么是比较教育允许的金融法，指金融做法？就是这个时候我们就要开始学这点。Basically, whatever it says about amounting to Sharia compliance is more or less coming from the general things that I say here. The Islamic maxims that we have here, the original rules in the contract is permissive. Means that in any contract that you enter into with anybody, the foundation is it is permissible for you to do. But the moment you done anything that is encroaching the Sharia prohibitions, then it is haram. So generally speaking, it is permissible, provided that you do not do anything that Sharia says or the Quran says you shouldn't do. What are the things that you cannot do? Those are the things that I will be highlighting to you after this. Okay, so to move on further, the things that you need to be aware of, basically, those are the things that you need to know, because these are the things that will make a contract that is permissible become haram. Simply put, everything, as I said, all the contract is permissible. You can do whatever you want to do, provided that you don't go against us. 只要你没有做任何在这边这个里面讲的4、5个里面1、2、3、4、5个东西里面的，那你做的任何的合约、任何的买卖都是回教教育所可以允许的。那什么5个东西呢？那就是我就这样跟你解释了。The first one is obviously the conclusion of the contract by mutual consent. Both parties must agree to it. Yeah, this one is very simple. I think it's very easy. It's like willing buyer, willing seller. Anything that you agree, I agree, then that is a valid contract. Firstly, yeah, 只要是双方面买方跟卖方两边都同意的话呢，那个合约在回教教义里面，第一点就是说我们可以接受了。那第二个就是这个就比较难一点了。Okay, riba, the avoidance of riba. This is one of the key things that everybody will be telling you. Islamic banking means no riba. Okay, but Islamic banking does not mean no riba only. Islamic banking actually also covers many other things as well. But generally speaking, the major part of Islamic banking or Islamic finance is we can never accept riba. Okay, what is a riba? We will explain to it in a short while. Okay, 第二个刚才我讲的是说，就是我们在回教教育里面呢，我们是说我们不可以允许任何有这个 riba 这个东西。这个东西什么是 riba 呢？等下我会跟你解释。那接下来就是说这个我们不可以有允许这个是 gharar， 等下我会跟你解释什么是 gharar 来的。We also have the avoidance of gharar, and then the avoidance of transactions involving maisir or gambling. Okay, the proper translation here should be M-A-I-S-I-R actually, but sometimes for easier for your pronunciations, we use the word M-A-Y-S-I-R, maisir, gambling. And then also we have the avoidance of transactions involving prohibited commodities. Okay, I will explain all these things with you in details. The first one I'm not going to explain because it's very simple. It's mutual consent. So we will skip that. So let's move on to riba. One of the major things that every time people will be saying is whenever you have Islamic banking is that definitely Islamic banking will not and cannot have any riba in it. So what is riba? Generally speaking, from the Arabic terms, the word riba means that every asset in return of which no reward or equivalent counter value is paid. In short, every unjust enrichment is riba. What does it mean? It means that you are earning anything extra without any effort, without any risk, without doing anything at all. Okay, what is this? Simple. You go to the conventional bank, you put the money inside there. You put the money there, you go back, you don't do anything more. Okay, and then next year you have some extra. Similarly, you give money, you lend money to somebody else. You lend the money to that somebody else. Okay, let's say you lend him $1,000. Next year you say you must pay me back $1,500. Full stop. Do you do anything? No, you just lend the money and you started going back and then stick on it. You don't bother, you don't have to do anything. There's nothing in it at all. So this is the extra element. The $500 extra is the extra elements that the Sharia says is the riba portion that Islam will discourage you from getting. When you say it is the extra portions, you might be asking, what's so difficult about it? Yeah, we will be explaining why Islam prohibits riba in the first place. Okay, and you will understand it from the Quranic ayat itself, why we prohibit riba. 那就是说，什么是 riba？riba 就是说当你就是说你赚到任何东西，但是你赚到的那个部分呢，是你根本什么都没有做而能赚回来的东西。比如说你放的钱放进去一笔钱进去，然后忽然之间你的那笔钱你拿回来了，又再加上了你什么都不用做就可以赚出来的就是加出来的部分，那个呢就是我们所谓的 riba。那为什么说伊斯兰教不允许这个增加出来的加出来的这个钱币呢？原因就是因为说它有这个你不需要付出任何代价就能够拿出来这个钱，你什么都风险都不用做，你也可以拿到这笔钱。那这个部分就是比较说我们不可以允许这一点。 那等下我会跟你解释说为什么伊斯兰教说不可以允许这个增加的部分出来。Now let's move on. The avoidance of riba, basically here we started with the revelation of the Quran. In Quran itself about the prohibition of riba. You see, just like the normal things that the Quran and Islam actually gradually prohibit us when we talk about it, the Quran itself. When Islam first arrived, it started off usually by way of very, very friendly approach and says that you are not encouraged to do that, or this is not good for you. And then gradually, we move on to tell you the difficulties, the not so good thing about this part, this practice. And then finally, the Quran comes down, the revelations come down and says that this is now prohibited or haram. So this is a very classical example of that, the same thing. You see, during we call that the 4 stages of prohibition of riba in the Quran itself. The 4 stages started off with the first one here, when Allah actually compared riba with zakat and charity. Why is zakat? Zakat is the money that we as a Muslim, each and every Muslim, must contribute to the poor, to assist the poor. So that is zakat. Generally speaking, is the portions that we have to give back to the society. That is zakat. Okay? And charity is whatever you donate to the society. So the first stage in this ayat, which I will be reading to you in a short while, the Quran actually compared riba with zakat and charity, and says that zakat and charity is so good and is something that we should encourage. But riba is what you are taking away from people. You are actually, abusing the people by taking the riba here. Okay, so that is the first step. And then the second stage comes in where the Quran says that he attached the practice of the riba with the Jews. Here there's a simple attachment of it and say these are the riba is the practice of the Jews, and we should actually consider it as a very zalim or very, very, very cruel practice, and therefore we should discourage it. Okay? And the third stage now says that, look, any practices of you lending of money and then charging double or triple is prohibited. So during the third stage, prohibitions, only this style of riba is prohibited. Means if I give you $1,000, I ask you to pay me back $2,000 or $3,000, that is prohibited. So during this third stage time, it was still during the Prophet's time actually, if you charge, let's say $1,000 in return of $1,100, it's still permissible. It was still permissible at that point in time. Okay? It was only if you do it double, triple, or fourth floor and whatever, then only it's prohibited. But come finally the final revelation here to say that from now on, riba is prohibited because it is so unfair to the people. It is actually taking away the money hard earned by people. And that is the final revelation, and that is the reason why today riba is 100% prohibited in Islam. No argument, no anything, riba is prohibited. We must not take riba. That is what the final revelation here says, that it conclusively prohibits all forms of riba, and any excess over the capital is disallowed. I will explain to you what do I mean by that in a short while, but let's go through quickly the ayat that mentions about all this. Now, in the first step, this is the first step here. The Quran says, and that which you give to the others, in order that it may increase your wealth by accepting to get a better one in return from other people's property, has no increase with Allah. So whatever that you give as a gift to the others, and you aim to have it as a double or increase, okay, there is no increase with Allah for that. Okay, and then also you also have this. And they are taking of riba, though they were forbidden from taking it, and they are devouring of the man's substance wrongfully, and we have prepared a painful torment. At this stage, especially still say that riba is something you shouldn't be doing that, and yet it is prohibited actually. Here, all you who believe, eat not riba double or multiple, but fear Allah that you may be successful. Here, especially now says that, look, do not double, do not charge anything double or triple. Okay? Then finally, those who eat riba, this is the very long ayat that mentioned about it. See the reasoning for that.
those who eat riba will not stand on the day of resurrection, that is akhirat, except like the standing of the person beaten by shaitan, leading him to insanity. That is because they say trading is only like riba, whereas Allah has permitted trading and forbidden riba. So whoever receives an admonition from his Lord and stops eating riba shall not be punished for the past. His case is for Allah to judge. But whoever returns to riba, such are the dwellers of the fire, and they will abide therein forever. What it means here is simple. Riba is prohibited. You want to earn, you have to do the normal trading. Earn it by way of buying, selling, by way of the hard-earned money that you want to get involved. But do not try to why am I having this disappearance? Oh, okay. Alright, so what it means is that basically, for a Muslim, you should not get involved with riba. You want to have extra, you want to increase your wealth, you want to get rich, do it the proper way. Involved in transactions, buying and selling. Earn it by your own effort. Okay, so that is the simplest explanation about that. Of course, we also have a few other ayat where it says that Allah will destroy riba and will give increase for sadaqah, whatever they give out in charity. Okay, and all you who believe, be afraid of Allah and give up what remains due to you from riba from now onward, and if you are really believers. Okay, and we have a few more other ayat and also the hadiths here. The general prohibitions of riba here, one of the sayings of the Prophet is here, the hadith. The Prophet of Allah cursed the receivers and the payer of riba, and the one who records it and the two witnesses to the transaction and say they are like in youth. These are the sinner. Okay, so don't say that because I am the one who received the riba, therefore I'm exempted from this the sin. Yeah, that is not correct. The entire system of the riba itself is prohibited by Islam. Whether you are the receiver or you are the giver, it's all the same. Okay, and in Islamic law, actually, riba can occur in two main situations. I.e., or namely, we have riba al-duyun and then riba al-duyu. Actually, what is that? Okay, here we have the. I need to go. I'll come back later. All right, let's move on. Coming back here. The riba or assets which occur in the debt or loan transaction because of extensive delay in the repayment. What it means is this: I give you some money, I give you money lending, I lend you money, okay, $1,000, and I ask you, you must pay me back in 3 months' time, 1,200. That's it. I do nothing other than I give you the money. So these are money lending activities where you earn the money without any effort at all. Is not permissible. Then you might be asking, if that is the case, how do we go about? You see, that's why in the ayat that I mentioned just now, Islam says riba is prohibited, but we encourage you to do trading, buying and selling, willing buyer, willing seller. So what does it mean? In Islamic banking transactions, which I will not be able to explain to you because we have many types of transactions. If you go to the bank, you want to put your money into it, the bank will have a special transaction with you, whereby you are investing your money into the bank will take the money, invest in the counters and whatever transaction that is Sharia compliance, generate incomes for you. That is the income that you will be getting. It's buying and selling transactions, or it is a investment-based transactions. There is no such thing as it. I put the money into the bank, I do nothing, and I get the extra. Okay. Similarly, when I go to the bank, I ask for money lending from the bank. Normally, the conventional banker will say, okay, I give you this, let's say you need 500,000, I give you 500,000, pay me back 1 million later on. Okay, or pay me back every year with this amount of money, and then every time the market perform better, I will charge you more. Every time the market perform worse, I will charge you more also. So, at the end of the day, you must pay me more and more and more. So, from 500,000, you might end up paying, let's say, 2 million. Okay, that is the conventional way of doing that. For Islamic banking purpose, when you go to the bank and you say you need some money to buy a house, let's say, then they will do a transaction, willing buyer, willing seller, and then this transaction will then be archived in such a way that you will pay back by way of installments for the next 20 years, let's say. Okay? That is the idea. The main things that make it different from the riba bank system to the Islamic bank transactions. 那最主要是说，在比较金融里面呢，我们所讲的是说，你要任何东西，那个钱你放进去银行的钱，它是银行给你的钱，说银行借贷给你的钱呢，全部都必须要有真正的这个买卖交易在里面。你不能够说我把钱放进去了，我什么都不用做，我就赚到钱。同样的，银行也不能够说我给你这一笔钱，我银行什么都不用做，你每一年每一天都要还它的利息。那在比较金融里面呢，我们所讲的就是说，你必须要付出，你要付出的就是什么？如果你是说你要做就是说你要就是加在那个在买卖方面呢，你付出的就是说你所付出的就是在于那买方跟卖方所要付出的那个要付出的不然就讲不出来了。就是说你必须要付出那一笔，你能够赚到那笔钱。那所付出的东西呢，也包括了风险。那所谓的风险，说你钱把它给卖，你这个东西已经卖出去了。那如果对方不还你的话呢，那个风险在里面，那个风险也是一笔就是比较可以接受的付出，所谓的付出。这个是最主要的，基本上从比较法比较金融跟那个我们普通的金融法不一样的做法，就是这样。Okay. 那还有一些东西呢we also have here the prohibition of riba, what amounts to trading here. Okay, remember just now it says the Sharia says that we prohibit riba, but we encourage trading. Yeah, so this is the part that they try to explain here. When we talk about trading, the criteria is that it's a fair exchange of goods or value, and then there's a fair distribution of risk and return. Fair return. You earn the things by way of the trading itself. You earn the things by way of your risk and the effort that you put in. But in the case of riba, or usually we call that riba here, it means that anything that is oppressive, unfair distribution of risk and return, unjust enrichment at the expenses of the others. Okay? So the main thing that makes trading different from usury is that here you put in your effort in trading. Here, you do nothing, but you oppose, you oppress the other side. Okay? 那就是说，在真正的那个riba 上呢，就是为什么说我们比较法呢不允许riba，就是因为他说你要的话呢，你就真正去买卖这个真正这个买卖的这个商业交融里面，或者是合约里面。那为什么说这个买卖方法是好过于riba呢？就是因为说在买卖方面呢，我们就是说这是对双方面都很公平的。唯有比如说一个东西我卖给你，你用钱跟我买过来，那就是说双方面原则，我们讲你愿意你就买这个东西过来，你不愿意你不买，这是很公平的交易。那之后呢，还有就是说最主要是你也是必须要加进来那所谓的风险。那在riba这一边呢，为什么说我们不允许它？因为它是说riba的做法呢很简单，就是因为它很残忍的去单方面的去把对方的那个钱给拿过来抢过来，就是为什么说riba是说不被允许了。Okay? 那接下来我就是要跟你解释，在阿拉伯时代呢，为什么说在就说那个犹太人怎么去做这个riba。And now I'm explaining to you how riba was practiced during the Holy Prophet times until Islam prohibited that actually. Alright, you have to understand that before coming of Islam, riba was widely practiced by the Jews actually during the Arabs during their time. How did they practice it? Simple. I lend you money. Okay, let's say 1,000 dinar. You're supposed to pay me back, let's say 1,100 in 3 months' time. Already I earned 100 dinar extra. And then after that, if you default, remember just like 1,100 is supposed to pay back in 3 months' time. So after 3 months, if you default in paying me, now that 1,100 becomes 2,200. Double. Okay? That is only for 3 months extension. If you delay in 3 months' time again, that 2,200 will now be 4,400. Okay? So it's a very simple, I think in Hong Kong also you have this, Tai Long. Okay? Where they give you the money, they do nothing, they just get the money and they keep asking you